All right, so it's very rare that I can make a video and literally by the end of the video, you can be making 20, 50, 100, or even 200% more money inside of your business if you just implement any one of the 14 tips that I'm going to give you to increase the conversion rate of your marketing and of your landing pages in this video. All right, so the first one is to align your front-end marketing with your landing page, specifically the headline. And I see this mistake that people make regularly. But for example, here's one of my clients that I set up ads for, right? You look at their headline here, guaranteed, start booking your shop full in 7 days. We click on it and what do you know? Books your shop full in the next 7 days or it's free, right? Because when people are clicking on your ad and they go to your landing page and they see different things on your ad than they see on the landing page, they're going to be like, oh, this isn't what I meant to click on. I'm going to exit out. That's why it's very important that whatever your headline is on either your landing page or your ad, you want to use the exact same verbiage. So when people click from the ad to the landing page, they see the same thing. They're like, okay, I'm in the right spot. And then they don't feel famoosed or they don't feel like they got clickbaited or anything like that. And then they're more likely to take the next step. Now, the next one is to have a call out. Now, more specifically with the call out, we want to call out specifically who it is that we would like to target. And the more specific we are, the better. Because let's say you're like me, you're a 23-year-old male. Now, if I came across an ad for a fitness program, I probably wouldn't be interested in it. If I came across a fitness program for men, maybe a little more, a fitness program for young men, a little bit more. But if I came across an ad that was saying, hey, if you're a young man between 20 and 25 years old and you want to add 10 pounds of muscle in the next 6 months, I would have the most amount of interest in it. Even if it was the same fitness program as the original offer, but just because it came across as it was so specific and so relevant to me, I'm going to associate it to be much more valuable. I'd pay a lot more money for it, and I'd have a lot more interest in learning more about what it's about, right? And that's why it's very important to call out specifically who it is that you would like to reach in your landing page. Now, the next tip is to, when you are calling out, call out the best customer that you could possibly work with. Right? Like, so let's say, for example, you're in the home improvement space and you ideally, you want to target companies that are $1 million per year or more. Now, here's the thing. If you have a call out and say, listen, attention home improvement companies doing $1 million a year or more, right? You're still going to attract home improvement companies doing $500,000, $750,000, or even ones that are just starting out. But what you won't attract is home improvement companies doing $1.5 million a year. Right. And so that's why when you're making your call out, always stretch it, always push the limit, always say like, who is the absolute best customer that I could possibly work with? Because you're going to attract the people that are below that, but you won't attract the people that are above that. Now, the next tip is to use words like new, breaking, instant access, just in at the beginning of your headline. These words have been commonly used by all of the news articles, and the reason why they use them is because it gets clicks. Must see is another one that frequently I find myself clicking on when I'm going through my NHL.com newsfeed, right? When I see must see and then a headline, I'm like, oh, I got to see this, right? So from all the headlines that I've tested, using those words usually get higher click-through rates and a higher opt-in rate than without it. Now, the next tip here is to frame your button as a push button to get something, right? I see this mistake all the time when people are like, book a call, apply now, whatever that case may be. But it's like you click that button and it doesn't feel like you get something. It's just like, oh, I got to book a call. I'm going to do this and I'm going to, have to wait for the call and then I'm going to fill out a form and like all this kind of stuff. Right now, I like to frame all of my call to actions like give me access, right? Give me access, enter your name, email, phone number, give me access. You're instantly getting access to a thing. Or even if it's a book a call page, yes, I want automated jobs sent my way. Next step, right? Like it's like when you click this, it's like, yes, I want something and you're getting something, as opposed to book a call where it's like, hey, I got to book a call. I'm going to have to wait 2 days for the call to show up. I'm going to have to fill out a form. I'm going to have to answer all the sales. Like you sell the vacation, not the plane ticket when it comes to actually booking the call or actually framing your button, your call to action button. And the next one here is very important. And the point of this is to decrease the amount of mental calories it takes for somebody to understand what it is that you're offering. Because if somebody lands on your landing page and it takes them like 5 or 6 seconds to understand what it is that you're offering, the odds of them opting in are lower than if they can look at this and like instantly see, okay, this is what I get. And we do this by, I like to highlight and underscore the key words inside of the headline. So as you can see, we will build you a custom that books your shop full in 7 days free, right? So if anything, I'm getting something custom that books my shop full in 7 days, or it's free, right? And it is very good tactic to underline and highlight the key words inside of your headline. So when people land on them, they instantly stick out, they instantly read them, and they can consume less mental calories, and they can consume what your headline says in a shorter period of time. Now, the next one is to use words that imply very low risk. And what these words can be try out, test drive, sign up for a trial, right? Whatever that case may be, using these words like try out the new Architects AI and get 1+ new projects every single month, guaranteed, right? It's like, oh, I can just try it out. There's less risk, right? That's a simple little psychology wording that you can use to increase the conversion rate of your landing page. Right, now, the next one here is specificity leads to credibility. And what this really means is to avoid superlative or generic terms such as, I will double your revenue. Right, I get hit up all the time, and it's like people are like, hey, Dylan, if you let me edit your YouTube videos, I'll double your revenue. For example, I took Johnny Guy from 5K a month to 10K a month in 6 months. And I'm like, come on, right? Now, actually, a couple days ago on an Inner Circle call, I had somebody ask me to review and audit their headlines, and they were making the same mistake. They were targeting the e-com niche, and their offer was, hey, that I will double their revenue in the next 90 days. And I was like, no, you can't do this. So what we did instead is we want to be specific with the amount that we can increase their business, and that should relate to the call out that we have. So how we changed that headline was, hey, if you're an e-commerce business that currently gets at least 100 customers per month, we'll get you 200+ customers per month in the next 90 days, right? Because then it's a lot more real, right? It's a lot more like, hey, I believe that they're actually going to be able to double my revenue because they know who I am. Right? If you just go to anybody on the street and it's like, hey, I'll double your revenue. It's like, well, I know that you don't know what my revenue is. So how do you know you can double it? Right? That's why it's very important to be specific about the increase, whether it's a percentage, whether it's another number of customers, whether it's a revenue. And if you're going to make the claim where you can double it or triple it or whatever that case may be, you have to align the call out with where they're currently at. All right. Now, the next one here is to add social proof to your headlines and your opt-in pages, right? If you come in here and you just say, hey, I'll guarantee you 10+ new 5-figure deals, or I'll refund you and pay for your marketing until it happens, it's like, okay, how do I know that you can actually do this? Well, in my case, I say, here's 3 companies that I personally grew to $100,000 a month, right? And then when you see this, it's like, oh, this guy actually knows how to get 10+ new 5-figure deals, or he'll refund me and pay for my marketing until it happens. Right? Adding social proof to your headlines is very important. And as you can see on every single landing page that I'll ever build, I'll make sure that there is at least some form of social proof on that landing page. Now, obviously, the better the social proof, the better you're going to convert, but any social proof is better than no social proof. All right, now the next thing here is coming to these simple opt-ins. So when you click on this, it's very simple. See how we flood your agency with appointments, clients, and case studies. My name is, my email is, and my phone number is. Now, one of the big mistakes that I see people make is that they'll ask like 17 different questions and maybe even ask for their social security number on this form. But all you're going to do is decrease the friction of people opting in. Now, I know what your argument is. It's like, oh, well, Dylan, I don't just want a whole bunch of low quality leads. But that's a false way to look at this, because here is how you can generate a lot more money with your funnel by offering low opt-in frictions, right? What you do is you set up a low opt-in form on the front end. You just ask for name, email, or you just ask for name, email, phone number. Then when they go to watch now, if they want to book a call or whatever that next step is, that form has all the friction. Now, here's a couple things that I noticed. First of all, it is extremely rare that you're going to find somebody who is willing to book a call with you, but not willing to opt in on the first page. So you're not going to book less calls. Now, on the flip, there is a lot of people that would opt in, but aren't necessarily ready to book a call. They want to learn more information, but they're not ready to block time out on their calendar to actually speak with you. And here's why the simple opt-in form works so much better, because all the people that were originally going to book a call, you're fine because they're going to opt in, then they're going to book a call and they're on your calendar and you're good to go. Now, all the people that opted in, but they aren't ready to book a call, you can hit them up with emails, with text messages, you can dial them. And what this allows you to do is book 50 to 100% more calls for every dollar that you spend on marketing through your retargeting and through your email follow-ups. As a matter of fact, we book about 30 to 40% of our calls on the follow-up emails that we send to people after they opt in. So if you were to opt in on this page, you would get about 3 to 4 emails in the first couple of days. And then after that, you would get put into a long-term nurture sequence, right? Now, 30 to 40% of the people that book a call with us, they opted in, they didn't book a call, but then in a week from now, they got one of our emails and then they booked a call through that email, right? And that doesn't require any extra work on our end after we've set it up. And in addition to that, if you ever want to do a database reactivation campaign, if you want to set up lookalike audiences, now you have owned data that you can use to get better at your marketing. Now, the next tip here is to implement anxiety removers on your opt-in page, right? So if I click here, yes, I want guaranteed rental income. This is another funnel that I've built. Now, we're targeting a little bit more of a sophisticated market, right? The average customer here is between 30 and 50 years old. And a lot of people between 30 and 50 years old don't like sending their information online because they think that if they give somebody their information online, that person's going to show up at their house with a gun and rob their family. Speaking on behalf of my dad. Now, what we've done here is that enter your details to start earning guaranteed rental income in less than 200 days. Now, I've put an anxiety remover here that says your info is just to temporarily hold a spot and remains 100% confidential, right? Because we have to understand that with every step of the funnel, with every part of our marketing process, people have objections, concerns with taking the next step, whether it's clicking on the ad, all the way to opting in, all the way to booking a call, all the way to actually working with your service or whatever it is that you have to offer. Now, most of us, we only think about objection handling when it comes to after we've pitched the price in the last 30 minutes of the sales call. But objection handling is something that we need to do all throughout the entire funnel, right? And it starts by asking yourself, like, why would somebody be scared or why would somebody be nervous to enter their opt-in information? Well, they think we're going to spam them, or they think that they're going to use our information, they think they're going to sell our information, whatever the case may be. Right. And so we reassure them that we're not going to do that by putting just simple language like this on the opt-in form to eliminate their objections and concerns that they have with this step in the funnel to increase our conversion rates. Now, the next thing here is to make sure that your headlines are third grade reading level, right? Because again, with that mental calories, we want to make sure that every single person that lands on this landing page understands what it is that we have to say and can quickly grasp the concept and can quickly grasp our offer. So all I do is I search up, reading level calculator. I just clicked on the first link that came up and I found a readability scoring system. Now, for example, I'll put in the headline that I have for one of the last landing pages that I was showing you. Now, for some reason, it says that I need at least 30 words. So I just added obvious third grade reading level words in there. So it would calculate it. And then I come in here, I hit calculate text readability, right? And it says grade level first grade because it is extremely easy. Now, actually, when we were first doing this, we used terms like ADU and we had like these more complicated words. And when we first did this, and our first, variations of the headline actually had like a 12th grade reading level. Right. So that's when I kept adjusting it to make sure that it was at least a third grade reading level. And in fact, we actually got it down to a first grade reading level. All right. So the next tip here is to use your niche's language inside of your headlines and inside of your marketing. So what this means is, like, instead of saying leads, instead of saying clients, instead of saying call, whatever the case may be, right? If we're in the home improvement space, don't say leads, say estimates, right? If we're in the mortgage space, don't say leads, say borrowers or homeowners looking to borrow money. Using industry specific language is going to make it more relevant to them, make it more tangible to them. That's another really big thing, is we want to make it like tangible. Hey, I don't want leads, I want home borrowers. I don't want leads, I want estimates. I don't want clients, I want home renovation projects. Right? Making it more tangible, making it more relevant to them is going to increase the conversion rate in your marketing. All right, now the last one here is for bullet points. And this is the simple bullet point formula that will get you a lot more conversions. Now, let me break through. If you want to add bullet points onto your headlines, which is a great thing to do, and I'm always doing inside of a lot of the landing pages and marketing that I'm doing, doesn't matter if it's in the ad copy, the landing page headline, the book a call page headline, or even in your email follow-up sequences, right? Let's say, for example, we're offering, funnel development, right? What most people will do is say, hey, we'll build you a funnel, right? Now, that's like the very beginner, like boring, low effort way to write a bullet point, but that doesn't have a lot of value to who you're offering, right? So the next thing that you can do is so you can write so you can, right? And then what is the benefit of that funnel, right? And so in this case, we'll build you a funnel so you can flood your business with qualified prospects on autopilot, right? Now, this is stage 2 of building a good bullet point, right? And this is actually where the majority of people stop when it comes to writing bullet points, right? But when we think about it, we're missing one key thing, and we're missing the most important part when it comes to writing a bullet point, right? Because when I look at this, it's like, okay, I get a funnel so I can flood your business with qualified prospects on autopilot. But like, yeah, that's a good feature and that's a good benefit. But like, the only thing that I really care about is like how that impacts my life, right? So what I will do every single time is I'll write which means or some variation of that, and then how it impacts their life. So if I'm going to write this off the top of my head, it's we'll build you a funnel so you can flood your business with qualified prospects on autopilot, which means there's a couple things that we could say, which means so just thought of this off the top of my head. We'll build you a funnel so you can flood your business with qualified prospects on autopilot, which means you'll wake up every single morning with more calls than you'll ever need to hit $100,000 a month. Because people don't want a funnel. People don't necessarily even want qualified prospects. But if they're struggling with appointment setting, they would love to wake up every single morning with more calls than they would even need to hit $100,000 a month. And that is actually how it impacts their life. And so the simplified formula for this is feature so you can benefit, which means how it impacts their life. And so this is the simple bullet point formula that will completely outperform any other of the standard we'll build you a funnel, or we do a done for you CRM, or we'll manage your ads for you. All right, so this is the simple bullet point formula that will really dramatically increase the amount of conversions that you can get, because it's not just we'll build you a funnel or we'll manage your ads for you or we'll set up a CRM. We talk about how that actually impacts their life. Alrighty guys, so thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you guys got value out of this. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below, or even if you want to send in your landing page below, I'll take a look at it and I'll offer feedback based on what I've talked about in this video. Other than that, wish you guys the absolute best with your business, and I'll see you guys in the next video.